What's going on, guys? Welcome to Own the Chaos. It is Monday and it's not so great in the market today, but it is what it is. Some of you guys had some good plays and good for you. For me, it was just kind of a slow, dreary day. Not much going on, but I wanted to talk a little bit about filters and how they can help you and kind of stay on the topic of equity feed. So if you're visiting for the first time and you don't know what I'm talking about over-the-counter stocks. I encourage you to hang around. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat and I will answer them as always at the end of every live stream. For those of you returning, welcome back. I do appreciate you tuning in, and we'll go ahead and get on with it. So when you experience slow days such as a day like today, you want to look to see maybe there's some accumulation going on, and there's a filter that you can set for that when you're using equity feed. I don't know if there's any other scanners out there that have the capabilities to scan for accumulation such as this, but I'm going to go ahead and show you that. I'm also going to go ahead and show you how to identify that on a chart. So we're going to use the example MSPC since it's kind of been what we've been talking about here lately. It's a good example. I was able to actually find that on the accumulation scanner filter that I have set up. That was shown to me a bit ago, and I find that it's pretty effective on trying to identify stocks that are accumulating. Now, what is accumulating? So accumulating is when a stock, when people might be finding information on this, that potential catalyst, especially for people who are looking for a swing trade or a longer term trade, they might identify the bottom of a stock and there might be some slight selling going on, and then somebody comes in and buys it right away. And so you see that sideways channel that starts to form, and I'll show you that in a bit. But I wanted to go ahead and say hey to Ben. Bless up, as Jacob Amaral says. Yeah, he loves to say that in Wicked. You know, those Canadians, it's they love their Wicked terms. Yeah, welcome, Ben. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate that. So, without further ado, let me go ahead and share my screen here with you. We'll come back to this, but I want to show you the example of it on the chart. For those of you who aren't aware, here's our Discord chat group. I post all of my videos here, and we also have some great networking here within Discord. There is a link in the description below for that. But here is the trading view chart for MSPC. I have the hourly chart on here, and over the last 3 months, you can see this was, obviously holds a special place in my heart, because if you've been following me for a while, this is was my biggest trade ever. I made over $20,000 on this trade back in March. It has since then obviously cooled down a lot. Huge dumping, and for whatever reason there was talks of it being shorted pretty heavily, and then it came crashing down. Fortunately, I was able to get up near the highs of this, somewhere in the 20s, I think it was, if I recall correctly. But I went ahead and drew these lines here for you to help you identify a sideways trend here, and that's how you can identify some accumulation has been forming. Every time someone seems to sell it, another person comes right back in and scoops it up, and so on and so on. It's been happening for a while here now in the 5s and 6s, and then it just recently bumped up to the 6s and 7s, and it's been maintaining this support level and accumulating over a period pretty solidly of 2 weeks. So why is this important? This is important because people who are looking for a longer term approach, maybe, or just like a simple swing trade that maybe they're holding in for a couple weeks or just a week or two, might get into something like this. You can tell that there's people that see potential in this in the longer term, and they want to get in at the absolute bottom of this stock. That is the typical strategy that I follow, is trying to get in at the very bottom of a stock before it runs. Now, I've already gone over the potential catalyst that this has, and so that's why I feel like a lot of people are also trying to get in at this bottom price as well. And so without further ado, I'll go ahead and show you the filter that I have set up for identifying stocks that tend to accumulate. And so if you have equity feed is a paid stock scanner. I think, in my opinion, is worth every penny. I went over this last Friday about how I think equity feed is the best scanner that is out there. for a variety of reasons. Now, it is a little bit pricey, but if you go on to the description of this video, I have a link there. You can click that link and you can enter referral code Brad Smith. You'll get 10% off your initial or your first month subscription of Equity Feed. It is a little bit pricey, but again, I think it's worth every penny in my opinion. So anyway, so setting up the filter for accumulating is the price I have set 0001 to 0005. You can set this to whatever you want. If you want to shrink the results, if you want to narrow down results a little bit, you can set it to a lower price, but I just have it at 5 cents right now. Volume's at 100,000. Trades 15. I have it at 15. I don't really like to go much higher than that because I want to catch the accumulation earlier rather than later. Last action price within 1% of the close, so the previous day's close, and I think I have, yeah. So, and the bid ask action in the last 5 minutes is at least 75% of the trades were within the ask. Okay, so just to show you there's proof in this pudding, I can show you here that this is the accumulation filter that I have, and here it is. Boom, MSPC is right here. It's number 3. 114 trades, and it maintained that level of accumulation right within that 6-7 range all day long. So that to me tells me that there's probably a lot of longer term investors or longer term buyers that are looking to get into this at the bottom before a catalyst shows up, so they can ensure that they got the absolute lowest price they could. And I have the chart up here pulled. Equity Feed chart isn't the greatest, which is why I pulled up the Trading View one for you. As you can see here, there's definitely some, small selling, small buying, just like some real steady accumulation on this one. And so yeah, so as just a simple example of how you can identify or why or how a stock is accumulating. There's some other ones on here that are probably familiar to some of you who are regular traders of OTCs. BBTKs on here. ASTI, FLSR. I know a lot of you guys have been playing with that one. And so yeah, this is obviously a longer list just because I have it 0001 to 05. But you get the gist. So I know this is really quick, but that's just a pretty simple example of how you would trade based off of accumulation. So without further ado, let me just see if there's any simple questions out here. How does this differ from other scanners, for instance, Thinkorswim? So in my opinion, Equity Feed differs from Thinkorswim for a variety of reasons, but I think the biggest benefit that Equity Feed has, hands down, and you will not get this anywhere else, is the news. So over-the-counter stocks don't regularly show up on Thinkorswim's news scanner. And really, there's a lot of other bigger board stocks that don't show up on Thinkorswim's news scanner either. I think that in itself is the biggest benefit. The other benefit is that Equity Feed breaks down these criteria that you can set parameters for the scanners, or your setups are there's so much more you can play with than on Thinkorswim. Thinkorswim, don't get me wrong, is a very good scanner. I've had it here on videos that I've put on in the past, just to kind of give you guys an idea of how to set up like a pre-market scanner and that sort of thing. But if you want to be professional about it, if you're serious about trading and you really want to get into this game, then Equity Feed, in my opinion, and they don't pay me to say this, I've never talked to anybody in Equity Feed, but it's just my personal experience and what I've seen with other professional traders, that Equity Feed always seems to be the scanner of choice. So and I can show you the new scanner here real quick as well. New streamer. So let me see. Yeah, so this is my new streamer. You can set filters on this as well, which I have. Current price is 0001 to $1. That's all I really have as far as that's concerned. I don't really set up any other filters on this because I want to make sure that I'm seeing everything, just penny stock related, obviously. And so you can see that anytime news gets released, it always jumps up to the top of the scanner. and it really caters to the OTC and other penny stocks that you probably would see on NASDAQ that wouldn't actually show up on Thinkorswim. That is just, again, you know, my opinion is this is the X factor that equity feed. Look, we just saw just two more. We just saw that live. So 2 more news releases came out through equity feed, ASTI and DUOT, 10Ks and 8Ks. So this is a live feed of news that it just comes popping up, and these are after hours, obviously. But this, in my opinion, is worth its weight in gold. And here we go. We got another one, CRGS, another 8K. So that I think is worth it, in my opinion, for anybody who's looking to invest with OTCs. If you're looking to get serious about it, then definitely equity feed is where you want to be. Do you use this as primary source for finding the OTC stocks? So Jenna is asking, no. So that's not the only one. That's just one of the scanners I use. I'll go ahead and cover other filters I use in future videos, but this is just one I wanted to focus on in particular, especially since it was kind of like a blah day. Everything was kind of flat, and it looked like a lot of people were just accumulating maybe positions they were already on, or maybe looking to get into an entry position. And that's another like strategy you can use as well. You can, if you're looking to get in at the bottom of something, maybe you take a starter position and kind of see where it levels out at, and then you start to get in and add to your position or accumulate your position on that stock. So looks like it's pretty light today here too, guys. I just want to thank you for tuning in. If you are visiting for the first time, I hope that I gained your subscription. If not, I totally understand. But if you learned something from this, however, I would appreciate if you like this video. If you are interested in this shirt that I'm wearing, there's a link down in the description for that as well. And I would appreciate it, showing support for this channel too. And that is all I've got for you guys today. One other thing. If you have been following me, or if you haven't been following me, we are working on a new trading platform. I don't want to call it a trading platform because it's more of like an exchange, but it's not an exchange, at least yet. But we have a social networking platform that we are building. Me and my partner are building a WeTradeHQ.com. If you are interested in checking it out, I would encourage you to click on the link WeTradeHQ.com down in the description below as well. You can apply to get notified when we go live, and you can check out the sweet launch page that we have there as well. I'm getting ready to create a teaser for that, and should be pretty sweet. Okay, so Jenna says can't wait for your class. Kind of waiting to begin trading. Oh yeah, so I'm planning on having that come out at the same time that we launch our website. So stay tuned for that. I've been working every day on it, so I'm really excited to get that out to you as well. So thanks for tuning in, guys. That is all I've got for you. I will see you all before the bell as always, and B Smith is out. Take it easy, team.